Insperity presents the Small Business Advocate Show with Jim Blasingame, brought to you by FedEx, CareerBuilder.com, and Palo Alto Software. This is a copyrighted production of Small Business Network, Inc., all rights reserved.
He's the man Talkers Magazine says is one of the most important talk show hosts in America.
We tell you over and over again that you're wonderful, and you just don't get it. What's wrong with you?
He's Jim Blasingame, our small business advocate.
Welcome back, 34 after the hour. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. Thanks for being part of my day. Always a pleasure to continue to be with you. And I'm very excited about having our good friend Rich Galen back on the show. Rich is a longtime member of our Brain Trust. He's a political operative of the Republican persuasion, and you probably you may even be able to hear him giggling a little bit right now because there was a debate last night between Governor Romney, the challenger from the GOP side, and the sitting president, President Obama. They had their first debate last night, and I've asked Rich to join us to talk about that. Rich, by the way, as you know, is the purveyor of the outstanding cyber column, Mullings.com. Rich, welcome back to the show. Thank you, Jim. Nice to be back with you. Good to have you back. Hey, listen, I was watching the television last night where they had the commentators in front of the spin room with all the little flags, for who with the signs. Yeah. I kept looking for Mullings and I didn't see your flag, your little sign. Well, I would have had to carry my own, and I didn't. That would have been unseemly, wouldn't it? Yeah, they gave me a stick and they gave me cardboard and they gave me a crayon, and I said, this isn't what I had in mind. Rather, I would have been too ignominious. No, I agree. Even for me. So I'm hearing a little giggle in your voice there. You sound like a little schoolgirl there, Rich. Well, that's really because the Nationals are the NL East. Congratulations, by the way. Yeah, thanks. And then there was this debate that just was kind of, and Teddy Roosevelt won the president's race at Nationals Park for the first time in 7 years. But I mean, getting to the debate, I mean that was truly a mismatch of epic proportions. I wrote a piece for the Daily Beast last night for Howard Kurtz, and I started out by saying, if you had just dropped down from Mars on your way to Venus, or the other way around, you would not have been able to tell which one was the incumbent and which was the challenger. You would have gotten it wrong by just watching what was going on. Well, yeah. You would certainly have said, well, that guy on the right over there in the blue tie, he doesn't have his cornflakes together. Yeah, that's right. And then you would have probably said, is he the challenger? He's the challenger, right? Yeah, that's exactly the point. Yeah, you couldn't. I mean, the president was so ill at ease and so unfocused in his answers that just wonder what they've been doing for the last 4 days. Let's talk about body language for a minute, and then we'll get into the substance. The first thing I noticed was, and I don't have a life, so I'm sitting there, taking notes and things. But the first thing I noticed was that President Obama would not look at Governor Romney while he was talking to him, and Romney was looking right at him. I mean, steely-eyed, level stare at him, and Obama was looking down. And I wondered, and I wasn't trying to, find fault here. I'm just noticing, and I wondered how that came across to other folks. Well, my guess is, my strong suspicion is, having been through, maybe 100 debate preps, that was a decision that was made by both teams. Where do we want our guy looking when he's answering? And notice that every so often Obama would actually look into the camera, which is what I think they wanted him to do more. But they clearly decided, in my mind, that to speak directly to Romney would be elevating Romney to equal status. And to look at him, they didn't want to do that. And to look at him while Romney was talking to him, would they intentionally wanted Obama to look dismissive? Yeah, look dismissive, look down like he was writing notes to counter these ridiculous things. Do you think that they now think that was a mistake? I think they probably think that didn't work out the way they wanted it to. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it's hard. I mean, but it's he's a little too good at the dismissive thing, isn't he? Yeah. Well, I mean, there. Once more, Mr. President, with less feeling. I mean, many of the comments I got from my readers after I set out my analysis was that it really did look. I mean, it was almost Gore-like. Remember when Al Gore was sighing and rolling his eyes? I mean, I said it wasn't quite that bad, but it was in the same league as Gore with George W. Bush. And you know what? It's for the same reason. Gore just didn't like Bush. He just didn't like him. He didn't.
But you didn't get that feeling last night. In fact, there were a few times when I thought these guys are just going to join up and run together.
No, no. Obama really does believe that Romney is the embodiment of everything he worked against when he was a community organizer.
But there was a lot of good nature, apparent good nature between them that I think people liked. What do you think?
Well, remember that was one of the hurdles that Romney needed to clear last night. He had to show that he was not just as
he's one of the boys.
As Chris Matthews once said of somebody, Dukakis, he's not just a pocket calculator with legs. He's got a sense of humor. That he's pretty good, and that's why I think you saw that between the two of them. That was another studied.
That was interesting. All right, hold on to that thought. We're going to get into the weeds a little bit, folks, into the substance after these messages with Rich Galen. 20 Till. Stay with us.
Insperity presents the Small Business Advocate Show with Jim Blasingame, brought to you by FedEx, CareerBuilder.com, and Palo Alto Software. This is a copyrighted production of Small Business Network, Inc., intended for the private use of our audience. Except as otherwise provided by copyright law, all other copying, redistribution, or publication without prior written consent is prohibited. All rights reserved.